Hi, and welcome back to Creepy Stories with Kelly. I hope you enjoyed the last one. I'm sorry about the audio, and hopefully it's a little bit better this time. So let's get started. I'm going to call this one Randonautica Misadventure. My friend AJ and I downloaded the Randonautica app, and for those of you who don't know, Randonautica is an app that asks for your GPS location and basically sends you random coordinates based on your location. And little did I know at this time that there had been some really true scary stories about this app at the time that we had downloaded it. And just a heads up and a warning, I don't recommend using this app at all, especially at night. AJ and I were already a few drinks in, and he had already downloaded the app, so we decided to see what was in store for us, go for a walk, and see what was at this location that Randonautica picked for us. It asks you to pick out an intention, like something spooky or random or different things like that. And being that it was nearing 2 o'clock, we figured we'd go for something scary, up the ante a bit. And since both of us had been drinking and neither of us had a car, out of the 3 locations that it had picked for us, we decided to go with the closest one, of course. And at the time, the place that we were staying at was kind of in the middle of nowhere. And there were a lot of fields and trees and forests nearby. And so this meant that we would be walking around a lot in pretty much pitch black darkness. And we only had our phones to use as light. As we started walking, pretty much everything seemed to be amplified. The wind was even causing some whistling between the trees. And it was kind of messing with our heads a bit. The animals were rustling through the hedges. We walked down this hill and we could see traffic lights illuminating just up ahead. We even began talking and were feeling a little merry, probably from the drinks that we had prior. But we were getting closer to our location. And I was beginning to feel a bit on edge because as we got closer to the location, we came across a gate that was locked. And instead of just stopping there, we decided to just climb over the gate. It was a very small gate, so it wasn't a big deal. After all, our location was right past the gate onto this field and to the left. I did suggest to AJ that we go back, but we had already made like a mutual agreement that we had come too far to just go back now. So we jumped over the gate and we walked across the muddy field. And by this time it was getting really dark. Even the moon had seemed to be hiding, and it was getting very, very cold. It was nearing 3 a.m. at this point, and we kept walking, and so we pointed our lights towards where the app was telling us to go, towards the area, and all of a sudden we saw a storage container. And it was just sitting there, and I asked AJ, was that it? And he replied, no. It was in the other direction. But we continued to walk towards the storage container, and don't ask me why. Probably curiosity. And we both stepped at the same time, and as we saw, our light lit up the container, and on it was a spray-painted clown. And I froze. I mean, it would have been bad during the day, but at 3 a.m., it was terrifying, especially when walking towards the unknown. AJ laughed and said, it's just a clown. And I said, yeah, just a clown. And I said, let's just keep walking. And at this point, no lie, the hair had been standing up on the back of my neck. And then AJ said, it's just over there. And it was the beginning of a vast forest that was roughly about 2 miles long. As we were walking in the forest, I stopped in my tracks. A light and someone was there. I turned to tell AJ we were in danger, and all of a sudden we heard twigs and branches breaking. So scary. From the sound of it, we could tell they were moving closer. I looked back, and I know I shouldn't, and I saw a big figure with a cloak standing in between 2 oak trees. And I really didn't get a good look because I ran, and I didn't look back this time. We eventually made it back to the traffic lights, and then we began to slow down. We caught our breath, and AJ said, "I think we're in the clear." Then we decided to walk as quick as we could back to where we were staying. We started checking behind us very frequently on the way back. And this is a warning for those of you who want to download or play Randonautica. There have been people who found bodies, and some even believe that the app is something to do with the dark web. Who knows? And I have no idea what that thing was we encountered in the woods. And one thing I know for sure is that I hope I never will.